Making money, managing money, and putting your money to work for you is a valuable skill. But why we are not good at it? Some are not good at making money, some they are not very good at managing it, and some people actually they work way harder than their own money and they don't know how to put their money into use. And if you feel that you are stuck in that cycle and you don't know how to get out of it, or you may think that this money mastery or money skills is something that people are born with it, you are not very kind to yourself, because learning these valuable skills is unfortunately has not been part of our education system. And that's what I have been trying to bring a completely different aspect to the money and wealth creation and talk about it, and hopefully that will do something to governments or different schools to bring that as a compulsory subject to teach to kids at a younger age. Because by the time we finish school and go to real world or go to uni, or some people start working, it is quite embarrassing that many people, they don't even know how to get handle of their money. So they are either, then they just become a miser, they don't even spend their money, they don't even have fun, they don't enjoy their life because they don't know how to use their money. But learning that, it's a very, very easy thing to do. But as you know, because I have spoken to many clients from all walks of life for the last 20 years, I've noticed that people who, even they've got a very high income or they have a very good degree, but still why they think they cannot just make more money, or why they feel they don't have enough. They keep second guessing their own decision. They are not very confident about the financial decisions that they have. And that's used to really bug me, to say that why this person is who's so much intelligent, but why when it comes to money, they don't know what they're doing. And it took me quite a while to figure it out that the main reason or underlying reason behind these money skills or the confidence around the financial decision or financial skills is because of these two words: self-confidence and self-esteem. And this is a completely different way to look at your money creation or wealth creation. We grew up in a society, it doesn't matter whether it was the East or West, that people don't talk about money. Money is always a taboo. So we've always been told that we don't talk about our income. That's rude to ask someone how much is they are making. And nobody talks freely and easily and transparent about the money. So no wonder when it comes to money, we don't know how to deal with it. And today we're going to bring this topic and talk about the self-esteem and self-confidence to see how it is affecting our wealth creation. Hi, my name is Helia Singh and you are watching another episode of our Wealth TV. Please be prepared to learn quite a lot of things about yourself, your own attitude towards life, as well as your money. Because money, and I keep always saying the word money because just want to make it easy for people and just getting that taboo out and to say that, look, it is okay to talk about money. If we don't talk about it, we cannot live in denial. The only way you can just fix your financial problems or situation is by facing it. So by not using the word money or just trying to put it down under the carpet and or putting the bills, hide them away in your drawer, it's not going to happen. Nothing is going to change. So hopefully today will be the day that you will think outside the square and you just think about how you can change your money blockage once for all. So we are talking about self-esteem and self-confidence. Self-confidence, the way I put it or I define it, is something that when we born, nobody is born with, let's say, driving skills or knowing how to speak few languages or play instrument. We learn to do that. So it's something outside us, and as we grow, we learn and we do things and we become good at it. And this is how we'll become having a confidence around specific things. For example, yes, definitely I have a very good confidence when it comes to money matters. But if you ask me, okay, are you a good, musician? I said, no, I'm not a good musician because I've never learned, and there is no shame in it. So people easily talk about things that they've never learned, and they're okay to talk about it. But why, when it comes to money, nobody says that I don't know how to do it because I never learned it? It's just because the society has told us that, no, you are supposed to know that. And this is why that many people, they pretend they know what they're doing with their money, but unfortunately they have no clue of what they're doing. And that's why they become a victim of so many scams, or looking for shortcuts to make money or create wealth. And by the end of that, which obviously most of the time they will lose their money, they try to blame other people for that. Or sometimes they blame themselves for falling into those traps. But self-esteem is different. Self-esteem is about what you perceive yourself, your own worth, what you think of you, and that's an internal thing. So that's why wealth, similar to health and happiness, is an internal job. So to become good with money, obviously you need to know the financial skills and formulas and the way or the strategies to put in place. But it starts way before from inside. You need to be prepared. You need to know what is stopping you to learn. And that's why so many people, they come and say that, look, I'm good at this, and I used to do so well, but suddenly it's just everything went, in a bad direction, and I lost all the money. And that's what we call it, the self-sabotage. So many people, by doing the self-sabotaging, they actually put themselves in the risk because they think down deep, they think that they are not worthy of the money. They think they are not good at it. And especially I've seen it amongst women a lot, unfortunately, that they say, well, women, they are not good with money. And that really doesn't sit well with me when they talk to me about it. So, and if we label ourselves that we are not good at something, unfortunately, that goes back to when we were a child. And that's why when people, at the school, you may have heard from, a teacher or someone that, well, you are not good at maths, or you are not going to become anyone the way that you study. And this way, we imagine as a child, we just think that this is true. And the analogy that I use, just to make it more understanding, is that self-confidence is just like having a seed that you just put it in the ground and then you nurture it and it grows and eventually gives you the fruit. So it takes time and it's the external thing. But self-esteem is, imagine you have been given a very nice tree with a lot of fruit, because I believe we're all born with a self-esteem. But as we go through life, people who have said anything mean to us, or we've been a victim of many things, or we've been told, depends on the culture, religion, stuff, it's just as if that somebody neglected that tree. And what's going to happen eventually is just going to get the big chunk of that tree away, and eventually it's going to get a dry and a, something which ugly and is just the shape of a tree with no real value in there. So that's the difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. But how it is affecting your wealth creation, that is the next step we're gonna now talk about. So this is the reason that nobody wants to admit about this, that they have a low self-esteem. Because people who are labeled with that, so they usually been treated differently in the society, because people think that if person doesn't have a good self-esteem, they may not be proper for this job or given the opportunity to them. That's why we go through life and pretending we have it. So this is the reason, keep that in mind. And with that symptoms, often people, when they come to me, when we have these wealth coaching sessions, nobody says to me that, okay, look, I have a problem with self-esteem, please fix it. No, they always say that, okay, I don't know how to make a decision, I'm not sure if I'm doing okay, I'm scared about my future. So to me, these are the clues. These kind of questions, these kind of worries is down deep behind it. It means that I cannot trust myself. I don't know how to trust my own decisions. And to me, that is the reason that we need to work out on the self-esteem. And when I talk to those clients about the self-esteem and about their childhood experience, at first they just look at me oddly and say, well, how is it related to the question I asked you? But when we go through those exercises, they get the aha moment that where has been their problem. So that's why please have a pen and paper ready, and you can draw and take a notes as we are going through this. So, and hopefully you will have the aha moment, and then you know how to fix it. Because by only fixing and owning our self-esteem, we can just take any opportunity that comes to our side, and then we know whether we want to do it or not. So then we will never later on regret or just thinking, oh, I should have done this, or I should have done this, or you just keep thinking that what is the next step to do. So you need to do that to yourself. So I think we all owe it to ourselves to fix this. But it's like any other things in life. So again, nobody knows what is their self-esteem. Some people may think, no, I'm already above it, so I don't have any problem there. But I would like to challenge anyone who says that, because to me, there is always a level of self-esteem that we can work on it. For example, whatever money you are making already per month, let's say, is it $1,000, $10,000, or $100,000 a month, and you're already very happy with your own decisions, and you know that whatever you've done is great, it's perfect. But imagine what's going to take you, just put one more zero in front of whatever money you are already making. Let's say you are making already $5,000 a month. What is stopping you to make $50,000 a month? And think about it seriously. If you think that, okay, $50,000 a month is going to give you that anxiety and just thinking, oh wow, this is way too much to handle, that means there is a level of self-esteem that you need to work on. So without further ado, let's go through the exercise to see how we can find out or measure our self-esteem and how we can increase it. Because at the end of the day, the self-esteem is about our relationship with ourselves. It's the inside job. And in the last episode or a couple of episodes before, we spoke to an expert talking about our inner child or self-parenting, and how we can fix and nurture this relationship we have with ourselves. So now, as we are getting close to the end of 2020, and I know this 2020 has been such a messy year for everybody all around the world. And I'm sure many plans probably didn't get through. So for many people, and of course, most of all, the Olympic didn't happen. Who would have thought of that? But that was a very good example to say that we cannot control what happens outside us. The only thing we can control is what happens inside. So that's why before you put your New Year resolution for 2021, and which you can always refer to our free course, which is on financial goal setting, and just have that as a step-by-step formula to set your own goals. You could just think about is that why not to put this working on your self-esteem, which is an inside job, one of your resolution goals. Because again, we don't know what's going to happen in 2021. So you might as well start with yourself, because only through that you can have the results later on. And hopefully we're all living in the society or in a time that we are only hoping for the best, but we have to do our best. So I will just ask you to, on a piece of paper, just write 3 columns, just draw 3 columns, and on each columns, the first one right there, the list of, you can go up to 5 or whatever number that you are comfortable with, list of the facts or people or circumstances that you remember that has affected your self-esteem. So, for example, if let's say as a student, a teacher told you that, well, you will never become anyone in life, you are not good at it, or you're not a good girl, or you are not a good boy. So, because this is very crucial, what happens to us in those early age is just going to set us for the rest of our life. That's one of the example. Or if, let's say, you've been mocked around at school because you were short or you were overweight, anything that really hurts you, because people have different sensitivity, and to one person maybe just think that, okay, that was just a joke and just take it as it is, but to someone else, they just took it very deeply in heart. So just write down those incidents or factors or people who have done that to you. And before I forget, is some people, they may think that, okay, why should I think about those events? I don't want to think about these negative events. What about the positive thinking? But please remember this, without clearing the negatives, there is no room for positives. It's just as if, like, if you want to clean your home, you first need to see the dirt and get rid of it. You can't just go there and only clean one wall and one area and just think that, okay, this is all nice and clean, if the mess is all around you. So that's why we need to clear the problem, so then we have room to receive and better stuff in our life. So in the second column, now you can write there the base and emotions that you had when those incident happens. So people's emotions are different. Some people, they will feel angry about it. Some people, they feel ashamed, feel guilty. They feel stressed or resentful. We all have a different reaction to circumstances. Write that one in there as well. And on the third column, what you're going to list about is that circumstances that hurt you, the exact story around it. Because remember, the first one was the people and facts that happened. So then you can remember that. But in the third list, you talk about the circumstances, which now what you've been telling yourself as a result of that. For example, even though others told you that, well, because I've just remembered one of my clients just came to my mind. She said when she was growing up, and even though she is a doctor, when she was growing up, because her parents were quite poor, She's been always told that we are not one of those rich people, so we need to live and bring our expectation to our level. So that's why, even though now she's got money and actually she got a good inheritance, she doesn't know what to do with the money because she's scared to invest. But what she's been telling herself is all these years that I'm not good enough, I'm an imposter. Well, yes, maybe I was smart, or I put myself into medical school, I become a doctor, but that's not going to change the fact that I'm not one of those people. What you tell yourself is more important than what others tell you. Because I remember Dr. Phil once said that for every time you say negative things to a child, you have to at least 100 times a positive word to that to negate the effect of that negative word. So imagine that. That's why what you tell yourself is very important. Yeah. So now you have all these three lists, and then you can work it out backward, and then you'll see that how you want to fix this relationship that you are having with yourself, which again we talk about that inner relationship and self-love previously, or there are some other modalities such as EFT, emotional freedom technique, to tap it out and just bring this out of your system. Or if you feel that this is really bothering you, you can definitely talk to an expert, to a psychologist or a counselor, and talk about these emotions. The main thing is you take control of you and your self-esteem, because frankly, my friends, if our self-esteems are damaged, no matter what we do in life, we're going to even self-sabotage ourselves to get to the same level that we were before, because we think down deep that we are not ready or deserving of that success. So that's why the money management and having money or becoming rich is not about how much money you have in the bank account. That has been proven very well through those stories that we all heard about people who won lottery, and then after a few years they were actually worse than what they were when they got the money. Why? Because they were not ready. They didn't think they are worthy of that money. So that's why it's not about how much money you have in the banks. If you don't know how to manage $100, $1,000, you are not going to learn how to manage the $100,000 money. So it's all about your self-esteem and your knowledge, and that your worthiness, that you believe in yourself, that you are worthy of having that much money. So if you think this episode is going to help anyone that you know, or they help you, so please show your love as we are finishing the year 2020. And I will really wish you a happy and safe holiday wherever you are in the world, and wish you have a great year in 2021, and we will see you there. And until that time, have a happy, healthy, wealthy life.